It's time for the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Blake Sloan, one of the top real estate agents not only on the Grand Strand, but in the world. He's been featured in Forbes magazine, The Wall Street Journal, NBC, and many other publications. And now, the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. It is the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Dave Priest, and we are here this morning to try to help you out, whether you're trying to buy, whether you're trying to sell. Got a lot of great information to give to you today, and I'll give you some information as to how to get in touch with Blake Sloan as the course of the day goes on here as well. We've got websites, we've got phone numbers, we've got all of that stuff for you to do. Of course, the numbers to keep in mind is 808-SOLD. That's a great number to get in touch with Blake. Also, you can go online to his website, BlakeSloanRadio.com. That's Sloan with S-L-O-A-N. That's how that's spelled. You could also email questions to ask@BlakeSloanRadio.com. But we got a lot of great information to get to, and without further ado, joining us here on the show, of course, the man who's the show's named after, Blake Sloan. Blake, good morning.
Good morning. Got a lot of great stuff to cover today. First, most important thing is that we're going to cover the number one most important variable that determines your success or failure as a home seller in today's marketplace. And we're also going to cover the 7 power principles of selling your house faster and for up to 21% more money than traditional methods. And we're going to show you exactly how to find the best deals when buying a new home, how to literally beat other buyers to those deals and get access to those the very minute they hit the marketplace.
Now, last week when we had the show going on, I had our first week of the show, we learned a little bit about you, wanted to introduce you to the audience, and you've been dubbed, the real estate whiz kid. You've been featured in Forbes, Wall Street Journal, NBC. We hear commercials on the radio from Glenn Beck and Sean Hannity. One of those by itself is an accomplishment, but all of those together is pretty great. Now, last week we learned how you and your team work together. Good portion of your success is from the trademark systems that you developed to help both buyers and sellers here in the Myrtle Beach area market. Now, we ran out of time yesterday, or not yesterday, but rather last week when we were getting ready to tell exactly how it is that you're able to sell homes faster and for more money than the average methods that most agents use. Why don't we go ahead and kind of delve into that right now?
Sure, absolutely. The first part I think we were just getting into was our guaranteed sold system. And what is it's a proven step-by-step system that practically manages all the variables to the home selling process to sell your house faster and for up to 21% more money. And we go into exactly how it's done. But the biggest thing that people probably need to remember, or most people don't know, is they think that real estate agents are all the same, and that couldn't be further from the truth. And a lot of people also think that the real estate agent, they actually set the price or the value of their home, and we as real estate agents do not set the price as the home. The market sets the price, and buyer demand, buyers coming in, they're the ones pretty much setting the demand and the pricing for that property. But what our guaranteed sold system does, it practically manages over 100 different variables from beginning to end, all the way through the entire home process. And when you're able to practically do those, we're able to overcome a lot of the shortcomings that most agents or people have when they put their house in the market. And one shocking fact we just got into before was over 55% of houses fail to sell the first time in the marketplace. There's a bunch of different reasons. Usually the top 3 are price strategy, where they may or may not have the right strategy going forward. They may not have had the right advice or expertise in regards to their agent, or their agent may not have the right data to help look at truly what's going on in real time in the marketplace and help them to price accordingly. And sometimes they end up chasing that market down, and it can really hurt them in the value they get for their house, which obviously we know is in most people their largest asset. The other biggest reason, lack of marketing exposure, and like I mentioned before, is not properly advised by their agent. And there's a lot of things that go with the exposure side in regards to how that works, where the average agent sells about 3.6 homes per year. Mm-hmm. And if you look at that in regards to what's being invested on your behalf to get your home sold, there's a lot that has to get invested to get that maximum amount of exposure in the marketplace. We used the example last week of the classic car, right? You can take a classic car, let's say, like somebody was mentioned earlier today, a Cobra. You put that in your driveway, and you probably get it sold for a good amount of money.
Right.
Take that same exact car, put it in the driveway, but also in every classic car trader magazine, every car enthusiast website and magazine, as well as specific to a Cobra enthusiast. You're able to create more demand for that property or that car, and you're able to get a lot more money. So it's the same exact thing we're able to do with that exposure there. But also people don't really look into as much that the home sale price is elastic, where there's no exact fixed selling price for a certain home in a certain neighborhood. There's going to be a high in the price range and a low in the price range.
Right.
And what we're able to do is we're able to help manage these proactively to get you the high end of that price range, how you position the house, all these different things that we're able to do. And we're able to do that through our 7-step system. We have 7 power principles that we're able to do from A to Z to position that home in the marketplace to get more value for that and to literally create higher demand for that property. And we'll go into that in more detail. I think we're going to cover the 7 steps today. And we're also going to show you exactly what that number 1 mistake is and the most important thing when you're getting your home sold.
All right. Also, in addition to that, we're going to be coming back in just a second and tell you what's going on in the market itself right now. Got some email questions to get to. Plus, we'll also be looking at a mortgage update. That's all coming up in just a second as the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan continues here on Hot Talk 99.5 WRNN. If you have any questions that you'd like to get answered as far as real estate is concerned, if you want tips and tricks on what to do and what not to do to get your home sold, call Blake Sloan at 808-SOLD. That's 808-SOLD. You can also go to the website at BlakeSloanRadio.com, BlakeSloanRadio.com. It is the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan on Hot Talk 99.5.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. So what does it take to sell your home fast and for the most money in Myrtle Beach? Blake Sloan, Sloan Realty Group, has a system for attracting buyers that's so effective, he can guarantee to sell your home at a price and deadline that you agree to, or he'll have it bought with cash. Now, how can he do this? It's simple. Now, the average realtor in Myrtle Beach sells less than 10 homes a year and attracts a handful of buyers a month. Blake Sloan spends thousands of dollars and attracts hundreds of buyers every month, which creates demand for his homes and helps them sell within weeks, not months, and for top dollar. Now, you risk nothing, since if at any point you're not happy, Blake Sloan, well, he lets you fire him and you pay nothing. Now, the phone call is easy. Not knowing your options or getting bad advice, well, that can cost a small fortune. Call Blake Sloan today at 808-SOLD. That's 808-SOLD. Or get a free home evaluation at BlakesGuarantee.com. That website again, BlakesGuarantee.com.
We're back with the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan on Hot Talk 99.5 WRNN. And Blake, before we went off to a break, we promised everybody we'd give him a real estate market statistical update here. What's going on in the world of real estate? What kind of stats do you have for us this morning?
Yeah, we just got last month's numbers in, and just as a whole, sales activity through all single-family condos, land, have all continued growth, to remain solid, but we're also seeing the prices stabilize as well. And that's kind of one of the biggest things where you're seeing single-family homes, the sales are up 20%, 20.8% from the prior year's levels in regards to month, year over year. And the good thing about that, though, is it's maintaining the median sales price, where we also seen the distressed properties. That inventory has decreased, where October is a recent low in regards to our local MLS and marketplace here. But year-to-date single-family sales from January to October year-over-year is up 15.1%, and the median sales price is down 2.44%, which means we're seeing that stabilize a little more before we see it continually drop, and it kind of means we're hitting towards that bottom of that giant curve, which is a great thing. Year-to-date in condos, we're up 8.7%, and the median sales price is down 4.6%. We're seeing that a little bit more, obviously, because more of those condos are second homes and investment properties, and it took a little bit longer to kind of get some of those, I guess, flushed out and through foreclosure, things like that. We did see a little increase in regards to the foreclosure sale this past month. Was one of the largest we've seen in a long time, and that gets to some of that shadow inventory we were talking about, and we're probably going to see that come out in the next first quarter of 2013, possibly through second quarter, but there's no real exact number. We're kind of seeing that finally starting to come out, especially after the election, but we're able to see some definite great increases. Rates are still low. We'll talk about that in a second, too. Didn't we have some question or something from somebody?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we did get an email question from last week's show. Sarah wrote in and said that she's looking to get her home sold, but with it being winter and just going into winter, should she wait until the first of the year to put it on the market or do it now?
And that's a big, big question. Probably the number one question we get around this time of the year. The biggest thing I can say about that is 100%, if you're serious about getting it sold, you definitely want to get it in the marketplace now. We'll cover kind of the big reasons why, but just a simplified reason is let's say everybody says, you know what, we'll just wait till after the holidays, put it on the market first of the year. Guess what happens? There's a massive swell of inventory, and it's back to that classic supply and demand. Well, if you have a lot more supply, the same exact demand, what happens to that price, which we talked about earlier, is elastic. it's going to go down a little bit, right? So it's a lot more competition out there. But the good thing about doing it now through the end of the year or in the wintertime is now it's only serious buyers that are out there. Those that are out there looking are a lot less like tire kickers and then more of, people who are very serious and probably have to move. The other thing we mentioned is there's far less competition in regards to who's out there marketplace-wise. A lot of people are waiting. There may be somebody on your street who may be waiting for the first of the year, too. So it's a big advantage. It's one of those minor details that you're able to create leverage in our system. But the other part is the process is much quicker. Most people don't realize one of the biggest delays is through the lending process for buyers, appraisals, things like that. Well, a lot of those are from people doing refinances, things like that. Well, right now it's not quite as busy as usually is, so it's a lot better in regards to the process being quicker, a lot less delays that can help you get that sold before the end of the year.
All right. Well, what's going on as far as mortgage rates?
Mortgage rates are actually exact same numbers, at least from our local lenders here, as they were last week, but they're absolutely historic lows. It's an unbelievable opportunity for anyone that's looking to purchase, first-time home buyers, move-up buyers, whatever it may be. Right now, locally here, 30-year fixed rate, 3.375%. 15-year fixed rate is 2.75%, which is unreal in regards to what those numbers mean, even back to a few years ago. And we were actually kind of doing some research in this recently, but they're pretty much going to go up first quarter of next year, all the way through the end of the fourth quarter, where the 30-year rates, this is from Market Watch and the National Mortgage Bankers Association, they said that rates are expected to average 3.8% in the fourth quarter of 2012. They're going to get 3.9% in the first quarter of 2013, and they're continually rising up to 4.4 by the fourth quarter of next year. So we're seeing a significant increase in the numbers they're predicting. The other wild card there is, we talked about, the one thing about the election is that the QE3 that is still going to stay in place, which is the Fed's basically putting $40 billion a month into the mortgage market continually. So that's going to be very, very good opportunity. But one thing that was really important to cover that can really hurt a seller or a buyer's buying power or selling power, that most people don't realize the numbers a lot of times, is, let's say you have a $250,000 loan or whatever it may be, and you have a 1% rate increase. That kind of could almost be a $28,000 loss to the seller, in the value of the property, or to the buyer and their buying power. Because 1% rate increase, let's say on a $250,000 house, you're about $145 a month that goes up. Take that times 30 years, and now you're looking at about that $28,000 difference, which is pretty crazy. But the main thing is the payments go up. Right now, for first-time home buyers, you can buy a house literally for less than what you can rent for, and now you're building equity. You have that value of home ownership, and you also have that pride of ownership as well. So it's a huge opportunity right now. Definitely anybody in the market, we'll give you some deals in the show. We have a free service where you can get access to all the new foreclosure listings, all the deals of the market, and you guys get priority access to it. So you can check out our website for that. Call our number anytime, and we'll definitely get you priority access to those.
And I know as far as some of the tips, and like you're talking about some of the hottest properties, I know that when you come in here, you're bursting at the seams. You got some hot tips and things like that we'll be doing toward the end of the show.
Absolutely. Got a crazy deal. I'm going to share one that's just mind-blowing, selling basically 1/3 of what it did in 2006. And we got a huge amount of bank properties last month, about 37, 38. And we'll cover those and show you guys how to get access to those right when they hit the market, so you can get priority access to them.
Okay, we'll do that in about 10 minutes or so. But coming up in about a minute, we're going to be talking about the Expert Advantage Power Principles. We'll talk about all these great things coming on that you like to talk about. And if you have any questions, obviously, for Blake Sloan, the phone number to get in touch with him at is 808-SOLD. That's 808-SOLD. You can also go to his website, BlakeSloanRadio.com, BlakeSloanRadio.com. And if you want to ask an email question like Sarah did earlier, you can just email to ask@BlakeSloanRadio.com. It's real easy to do it. We'll be back in just about 1 minute with more of the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan here on Hot Talk 99.5 WRNN.
Do you need to sell your home? Hello, it's Glenn Beck, and I know how frustrating it is. I honestly sold my home a couple of weeks ago, and it took me a year and a half to do it. And I want to tell you about a realtor based in Myrtle Beach that I have personally met with. I'm talking about Blake Sloan of Sloan Realty Group, who has an immediate buyout program that allows you to sit down with him, determine a price and a deadline. And if Blake doesn't sell it on time, Blake's going to buy it for cash. Now, this isn't smoke and mirrors. Blake owns a property management company and is always looking for great properties in Myrtle Beach to turn into rentals. But more importantly, month after month, Blake uses aggressive marketing to attract hundreds of buyers from all around the U.S. that helps his home sell faster and for the most money. Working with Blake puts you at no risk. If he doesn't live up to his end of the contract, he lets you tear it up so you can work with somebody else. Give Blake a call today at 808-SOLD. That's 808-SOLD. Or BlakesGuarantee.com. That's BlakesGuarantee.com.
We're back with the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan on Hot Talk 99.5 WRNN. Good morning. Got, at the beginning of the show, we were talking just a little bit about the guaranteed sold system and the fact that basically, Blake, you've trademarked this system as far as what you can do and how you can get houses sold and how you can help out buyers and sellers. Why don't you go ahead and delve a little bit more into that system?
Absolutely. This is a system that's literally taken years years of putting together. I flew around the country, hired the best coaches, found the best people to network and mastermind with, and reverse engineer the entire sales process, both on the buyer side as well as on the seller side. And they're totally different. One for our buyers is the Unfair Advantage program for buyers, where they get priority access to all the newest listings, best access to the absolute best financing, and help and expertise to the entire process. And we'll cover that next week. But right now we're talking about the guaranteed sold system and step-by-step how we practically manage all those variables through the entire home sale process. Most people think that, hey, look, let's just put on the market with this agent or whoever it is. And the number one most important factor in success or failure when selling your home is pretty much the agent that you choose. Like we said, once you have the systems in place, the marketing, the exposure, all those things in place, even all the way through the negotiation, you're able to position yourself better in the marketplace, where it's a lot more than just, what the 3 P's of real estate use, where, they pick an agent puts a sign on the ground, and they really just pray for somebody to come sell it. Here, we're proactively, marketing to them, and we're also making sure that it meets exactly what people need. We're always balancing that fine line of how fast you want to sell it and how much you need to get. And we absolutely want to maximize both, while we can also maximize your place in the market. So we really broke the whole thing down to 7 power principles, and I'll kind of just cover them real quick. The first is our Expert Advantage strategic analysis. And our whole view on that is any property that put on the market without clearly defining a strategy based on the actual situation analysis, is basically destined for failure, because you have to have a game plan for success where, what exactly is your D-Day? Where do you need to be and when do you need to be there? Most people don't realize until it is actually D-Day that they did not plan accordingly. And that's why any agent that you choose, you want to make sure you have an exact proactive plan step by step of what they're going to do to get your home sold for the most amount of money. And we go all the way through that through, okay, what are your expectations? We have the financial analysis and goals. What do you guys need net to you? A lot of things that we're able to do, and we even dive into our Expert Advantage market intelligence, where we subscribe to every possible statistical company and numbers, so data helps us position ourselves to win when we're in the marketplace. We study both the macro market analysis, so that's national, and the global market conditions, the mortgage rates, interest rates, loan availability requirements. And we also study the micro market analysis, which is regional, local, neighborhood, certain economic trends, supply and demand, all that stuff. We literally are able to take even certain demographics and reverse engineer how your home is positioned in the marketplace to be able to maximize those. So if you don't even look at those or go through it, and you're just picking a price based on, I think I can get you this, that's how 50% of homes fail to sell. The other stuff that we kind of go through, and I'll just cover a few ones, and I'll kind of run through the whole process real quick. Second is our Expert Advantage power positioning, where superior positioning in the marketplace is our key point for getting leverage and getting the most amount of money in your market. So the other Expert Advantage massive marketing exposure, where we're able to expose your house to create the maximum amount of demand, and I'll kind of cover a few of those as well. Expert Advantage buyers in waiting, where we're able to match up your property with one of our hundreds and hundreds of buyers in waiting that we have, and literally help increase demand for your property there. And our Expert Advantage power negotiation. And 95% of agents cost their clients thousands of dollars of their hard-earned equity because they don't have a proven proactive system in regards to negotiation. And that last two are Expert Advantage leverage, where, like I mentioned, we're creating leverage with technology, real-time data, all that stuff, and also our Expert Advantage expertise. And this kind of boils down to the whole thing in regards to how many homes are sold each year. And like I said, we sell hundreds of homes. We talked earlier, the average agent sells, roughly around 4 houses a year. If you're going to get LASIK eye surgery from a doctor, would you go to any doctor that's only done 4 of them? Probably not, right? No. So people, they sometimes don't realize they're gambling their largest asset with somebody doing the same thing. And that's what our proven system is able to do. But if you want, I can kind of go in and talk a little bit about the Expert Advantage power positioning and kind of certain aspects in regards to how that works.
Yeah, I think that would be good. I know that we probably don't have time in this show to get through all of these right here because I know it's pretty in-depth. Like you said, you scoured the earth to find all the best people to do all this stuff. So why don't you just go ahead and scratch the surface and get as far as we can.
Absolutely. Anybody wants to get more information about it, how our system works, always call 808-SOLD, or you can go to our website, BlakeSloanRadio.com, and we'll help you with that. But in regards to the power positioning, what we're able to do is buyers do not buy strictly on price. They buy on value. And how that works is value equals relation of price to the quality. So we're able to pretty much position your house. We look at things like price elasticity, certain price drivers. What can we do to help get you instant equity in regards to the feature comparison? We look at all those details and find, okay, what can we do easy ROI increases to make that happen? There's all kinds of certain things we go through. And the fact is that buyers will pay a premium for value and convenience. And what thing that most people don't do is they don't look at it from the buyer's point of view. We do a buyer POV analysis and reverse engineer, okay, what exactly type of buyer profile is going to buy this property? The location, schools, work ethic, work, et cetera, things like that we're able to do. And one thing that we do is we reduce the risk. We're able to say, hey, look, we're going to get a home warranty for the buyer, so we're able to reduce the risk for buyers when they're coming in there to make sure it's a lot better. We're differentiating your property from everyone else's. We also do a pre-inspection, and we talk about that. The pre-inspection, most people don't know, but it can speed up the home sale up to 30%. It also identifies certain deal killers before they ever even get to the marketplace. And one thing that's really crazy is our Expert Advantage staging magic. And this is something that I really didn't see the power in until I started traveling the country and seeing the effectiveness. But staged homes sell up to 80% faster. And this is a national stat. But the average days for non-staged is 145 days in the market versus the average days of a staged home on the market is 29 days. And 94% of staged homes sell in 29 days or less. It's mind-blowing. So we built a team, another team of real experts, both through our outside vendors, staging, things like that, to help position the property, make sure we bring up every possible leverage point to get the max amount of money in your home.
All right. Sounds good. Is there anything else on the 7 points you want to go over right now?
Next week we also cover, the massive marketing exposure, buyers in waiting, things like that, and we'll cover each and every aspect of it. But anytime you guys want, check out the website, BlakeSloanRadio.com. You can get full information on it, and call us anytime at 808-SOLD.
Yeah, absolutely. You're stealing my thunder. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, 808-SOLD, 808-SOLD. That's the number to get in touch with Blake Sloan at any time if you'd like to call to find out what's going on. And if you have any questions about any of the information that you're hearing about today, I know it's a lot to take in just a short 30 minutes. So if you want to find out tips on how to sell your home, what to do and what not to do, if you always get a free, no-hassle home evaluation, you could do it. 808-SOLD, that's 808-SOLD. Again, go to BlakeSloanRadio.com. That's the website, BlakeSloanRadio.com, to find out more. It's the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan on Hot Talk 99.5 WRNN. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we do have one just amazing deal, and we'll give you details on how you can get that unfair advantage as well. It's the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan on Hot Talk 99.5.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. So what does it take to sell your home fast and for the most money in Myrtle Beach? Blake Sloan, Sloan Realty Group, has a system for attracting buyers that's so effective, he can guarantee to sell your home at a price and deadline that you agree to, or he'll have it bought with cash. Now, how can he do this? It's simple. Now, the average realtor in Myrtle Beach sells less than 10 homes a year and attracts a handful of buyers a month. Blake Sloan spends thousands of dollars and attracts hundreds of buyers every month, which creates demand for his homes and helps them sell within weeks, not months, and for top dollar. Now, you risk nothing, since if at any point you're not happy, Blake Sloan, well, he lets you fire him and you pay nothing. Now, the phone call is easy. Not knowing your options or getting bad advice, well, that can cost a small fortune. Call Blake Sloan today at 808-SOLD. That's 808-SOLD. Or get a free home evaluation at BlakesGuarantee.com. That website again, BlakesGuarantee.com.
We're back with the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan on Hot Talk 99.5 WRNN. And Blake, in just the last few minutes that we have left, before we get to the unbelievable deal of the week, let's go ahead and see if you can give us a little bit of an overview of the buyer program that you have with Blake Sloan Realty.
Gotcha. We got basically the unfair advantage home buying system, And same thing there. Most people don't realize there's a massive difference in regards to the agent you choose, what they do. And most people don't realize that there's two types of what they call agency, where anybody on the for sale sign you call, and a lot of times they represent that seller. By law, they're obligated to get that seller the most amount of money for their home. And most people don't realize they can get a buyer agent that's kind of helping them. And we have buyer specialists on our team who specialize in all that. There's a lot more to it than just getting those deals. One is making sure, okay, do you have the best representation in regards to expertise and how much you need to negotiate. Always represent your interest. Let's say you call off a sign as $200,000 house. You love it. You walk in and you call a person that has it listed for the seller. And let's say that seller probably take $180 for that house. But, you and your wife jump up and down. You love it and you want to buy it. Well, meanwhile, that agent knows that seller will take $180. You tell that guy you'll pay $190. How much do you think you're going to pay every time? $190 every single time because you give up kind of your cards there. And this way, with our system, make sure you're represented. We're able to position you all the way through the process, protect your interests at all times. But we also scoured and found the most aggressive lenders who give the most money for the best rates and help you through that entire process. And there's also hundreds of variables on the buyer side all the way through the process in regards to the home inspection, how you negotiate those. And the number one mismanaged variable in the home buying process is the mortgage rate. There's a lot of ways you can buy things down, and we're able to guide you through that process, save you thousands and thousands of dollars. One, because we sell hundreds of homes, but two, we invest in the best and top education literally in the world, and we continually do that and train as our entire team does. So there's a lot of aspects to it all the way through closing. We make sure you have the absolute best vendors. So we want to be your real estate resource for life. And anything happens to your house, through it, we're going to help you find the best vendors. That's one of the biggest things that people have headaches with is, now I'm in here, I need something fixed. Or, most people only buy a house every 7 years. We're here to help you all the way through our entire process. We have our Expert Advantage concierge for all of our homeowners. And you can just call one number. We'll find you the absolute best vendor, get you the best rates, and we're able to pretty much tie those two together where we leverage our large amount of home sales to get good prices for our clients and make sure that they're trusting people they're working with.
Before we run out of time here, and we're talking with Blake Sloan with the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show on Hot Talk 99.5. Before we run out of time, you promised that you'd give us just a killer deal of the week.
Crazy deals we got. We have tons that just came. This is my favorite yet. We just got a foreclosure listing. It's a 3-bedroom oceanfront unit with floor-to-ceiling windows. It's sold in 2006 for $649,000. We have it just listed right now for $244,900. Literally that much to me. It's about half of what it was just 2 years ago. And the peak was literally before that, around 2005 or so. And we could do a whole show on just the deal. So if you guys want to know any information on our deals, like I said, we got 37 last week, just brand new ones that don't have a price yet. Wait and get a price from the banks. And go to the website, call us, and we'll get you access to those, priority access to all the new properties we get.
That's just part of what you get. I mean, if you're on the Blake Sloan team, you'll be able to get the unfair advantage. You'll have all the knowledge and all the power behind you that Blake Sloan has to offer. And, we only scratched the surface on what your plan is. And so next week, we're going to be going over a lot of the rest of that, so we can got a lot more to talk about. But if you have any questions about what you've heard today from Blake Sloan, make sure and give him a call at any time. 808-SOLD, 808-SOLD, or go to the website, BlakeSloanRadio.com. And you can ask an email question if you'd like by going to ask@BlakeSloanRadio.com. Blake, we got Thanksgiving coming up in front of us here.
Absolutely looking forward to that. But like I said, now's the time, especially if you're buying, you get deals all over the place.
Doesn't matter if you never take a holiday.
Absolutely not. We're 24/7.
All right, Blake, we will talk to you again next week right here on Hot Talk 99.5. It's the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Again, the phone number 808-SOLD.
Do you need to sell your home? Hello, it's Glenn Beck, and I know how frustrating it is. I mean, I honestly sold my home a couple of weeks ago, and it took me a year and a half to do it. And I want to tell you about a realtor based in Myrtle Beach that I have personally met with. I'm talking about Blake Sloan of Sloan Realty Group, who has an immediate buyout program that allows you to sit down with him, determine a price and a deadline. And if Blake doesn't sell it on time, Blake's going to buy it for cash. Now, this isn't smoke and mirrors. Blake owns a property management company and is always looking for great properties in Myrtle Beach to turn into rentals. But more importantly, month after month, Blake uses aggressive marketing to attract hundreds of buyers from all around the U.S. that helps his home sell faster and for the most money. Working with Blake puts you at no risk. If he doesn't live up to his end of the contract, he lets you tear it up so you can work with somebody else. Give Blake a call today at 808-SOLD. That's 808-SOLD. Or BlakesGuarantee.com. That's BlakesGuarantee.com.